Hi everyone, today I'm going to show you a game between Gukesh and Kobe Oro, which was played in Menorca Open previous week in Spain in 5th round, and let's quickly jump into the game. Gukesh was white, he started with d4, Kobe Oro responded with d5, c4, we have so-called Queen's Gambit, e6 is Queen's Gambit declined, knight f3, we develop knight, knight f6, knight c3, and here the main moves are bishop to b4, which is so-called Ragozin defense, bishop to e7, or we can play c6, which is semi-slow defense. But black opted for this move, knight b to d7, interesting move, which is so-called barman variation in Queen's Gambit declined. Now Gukesh took on d5, e d5, bishop g5, we are pinning the queen, c6, and here very interesting move, e3 is normally played in this position, but queen to c2 was played by Gukesh, and this move was actually also played by Carlsen in some of his games. Bishop to e7, e3, and again very interesting move, h6. This is not the main line. Now we return the bishop to h4, castle, bishop d3, rook to e8, and here Gukesh played very interesting move, knight to d2. So what's the point of knight to d2? Don't ask me, because you will see soon. Knight here to h5, and this is common move in Queen's Gambit decline. If you remember Ding Liren and Nepomniachtchi third game, where Ding Liren also played this move in Queen's Gambit declined, the point is that we want to exchange the bishop and then return with the knight on f6. So castle, knight f8, rook a to e1, bishop d7, and here is the point, knight returns to f3. So actually I don't understand why on the move 11 Gukesh went with this maneuver, knight d2, and then he put it back on f3. More maybe just, you know, as a waiting move. Knight to f6, knight e5. Now we have lots of maneuvering, waiting moves, or not waiting, maybe slow maneuvering, improving moves. Now Gukesh took on d7, knight 8 takes on d7, and now very good move. We take the pawn on c5, and this pawn now on d5 is isolated and quite weak. Knight takes here, rook to d1, we place the rook to target this weak pawn on d5, rook e to d8, knight b5, again very good move, knight is coming to d4, knight f to e4, and now very nice move, bishop to e2. What's the point of this move? White is opening the rook, and also bishop is coming to f3 on the better square. a6, chase the knight away, knight to d4, rook a to c8. Now Gukesh wasn't afraid of any knight jumps, so he played bishop to f3, queen to e8, queen e2, g6. Now black wants to slowly improve his king's position by playing king to g7 in the next move. Also white is trying to just slow play his position by playing g3, king g7, rook c1. So very kind of positional game, slowly improving position, and maybe also waiting for the opponent's mistake. h5, bishop to g2, knight e6, queen d3. So white wants to take, if black takes the knight here, he wants to take with a check, and actually this wouldn't be that good for black. Again, knight c to c5, queen d1. So very slow game, knight to a4. And here actually the best move would be to take rook here on c8, rook takes, now knight e2, knight f6, b3. We chase this knight, away, knight to c3, takes, and now we take this pawn on d5, knight takes, queen d4, king g8, and we take the knight. We can count the pawns, and actually white is a pawn up, but this position isn't that easy to win. So maybe that's why Gukesh didn't opted for this variation, but he played move knight to e2. And just as I was saying that this is slow, kind of waiting game, trying to improve slowly, very positionally, and waiting for opponent's mistake, actually it happened on move 30. Black took on c1. And why is this huge mistake? Maybe you would ask, because if we take with a queen, then queen to c6, b3, and computer gives this position as equal. But here you can pause the video and try to find the best move for yourself. And actually Gukesh found it in 20 seconds. And the right move is queen to d4 check. And why is this so better than taking with the queen on c1? You will see, because king to g8 was played. And now after rook takes, sorry, on c1, this knight is in huge trouble. It lacks returning squares. He cannot return here on b6 because queen would take it. Knight cannot jump here because rook will take it. Let's see, like this. And actually this is way better. We have 2 pieces for a rook. And yes, and that's way better for white. So after this move, black played b6. So he wants to create this outpost for the knight, so that pawn is protecting this knight. But now there comes another problem, knight to f4. Now this pawn is under attack, and also this knight here is very strong. Knight a to c5. Now we take here on d5, queen e6, and now very interesting move. The best move in position is to play rook to d1, but Gukesh played very practical move, taking here the knight on c5, sacrificing an exchange. And here the best move would be to take with the pawn, and now we take here, queen takes, so we are still 2 pieces, we have still 2 pieces for a rook. But actually in this position, black took with the knight, and now we have winning move, knight to f6 check, king to g7, and knight takes h5, finishes the game because it's double check. We cannot take the queen, and the only move, actually the only best move black can play is king here. If he plays here, then this is a checkmate. But if he goes to f8, now we can pick a rook and we can win easily. So that was very interesting game. As I said in previous video, one of my previous videos, I think Gukesh has potential to become world champion, and I wish him the best on his chess journey. Indian prodigy, yes, and a very strong player. And guys, thank you all for watching, and please like, share and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.